Hello, you wonderful people. I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. Welcome back to the channel once again. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to land your first job in biomedical engineering field in 2025. So, if you are someone who is looking for a job, if you are a fresher trying to hunt for jobs, and you are applying for interviews and you're not getting any calls or you're not getting shortlisted, then this video is for you. I have covered everything starting from how to plan, how to prepare, what are the key things you should keep in mind, and I've covered pretty much everything. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. So I believe you guys can see the screen, and let's get started, right? How to get your first biomedical job in 2025, no referrals needed. So what is the pain and what is the promise that I'm offering you guys? Many of you guys are applying to a lot of jobs, you're not getting shortlisted, you are not getting any response from the HR, and you are feeling demotivated. So I'm going to cover 3 important steps that would help you land a job in next 30 days, right? So make sure you are sticking to the video till the end. I've also added few bonus points if you stick till the end, and it works for freshers as well. If you're a fresher, just graduated, you're looking for jobs, then this would absolutely work for you as well. So who am I and what you will learn? As you all know, my name is Sitan Thomas, also known as Biomed Pro. I make videos on biomedical engineering, medical technologies, career and development, and productivity as well. So this video is going to be India focused, entry level jobs, and 2025 hiring realities. You will leave with a system you can run this week. So by the end of this video, you will have a plan that you can follow to get to your first interview. Why are you not getting replies? That is the most important question that you need to start understanding, right? First, applications look the same across candidates. In your class, maybe there are 30-40 students, all of you are having same resume. There's no difference that is making you different from the other people in your classroom. So you need to make sure that the applications are different. No clear lane. You are applying for all the random jobs that you see related to biomedical engineering, which is maybe not helping you drive the results that you're expecting for. Skills are not listed, not skills are listed but not demonstrated. What I mean by that is you have just listed a lot of skills like signal processing, image processing, but there is no demonstration, though there's no practical proof of evidence that you're actually good at it. And zero tailored outreach to real humans. You are applying to jobs through LinkedIn, different job portals, but you are never connecting with the hiring manager or, in fact, the person who is relevant to that specific hiring, right? So that's exactly why you're not getting replies. What is the 3 step plan that I have for you? Step 1 is skill stack, step 2 is mini portfolio, and step 3 is targeted outreach. This is the basic step that you should be following. And in the coming slides, I would make sure that as per your interest and job role, what are the things you should be keeping in mind and how to prepare for that. So, step 1 is skill set, choose a lane and build basics. You basically decide which skill you want to master, and then you start building with the basics. Step 2 is 2 to 3 artifacts. What I mean by artifacts is basically a project that you can demonstrate to someone who is managing your profile. And then last one is targeted outreach, which is basically talking to the right people with the value that you can offer. Cool. Now focusing on step 1, core skill. As per 2025 and 2026 industry standards, these are the top skills that biomedical engineering freshers are tend to have. First is safety and quality literacy, ISO 13485, IEC 60601, CAPA, ISO 14971. So these are the standards that the industry is expecting you to have. Device basics, ECG monitor, syringe pump, patient monitor, basic critical care equipments that you see in hospitals. The last one is documentation habits, service logs, SOPs, checklists, and things like that. Now, the first thing that you need to do here is choose one lane for next 30 days. So tomorrow you should mark your day 1, and for the next 30 days you need to pick a path that you're going to pursue. Now, these are few of the options that you can focus on. Field service engineer, also known as FSE, QARA, quality assurance, quality standards, regulatory affairs, then clinical applications, sales, business development, research and development, and you can go deep with tangible outputs for that lane, right? So first you decide which lane or which job or which sector you want to get into. So starting with the first one, if you want to get into field service engineer, you need to do this. Preventive maintenance checklist for a patient monitor. Take any critical care equipments and make a document that tells preventive maintenance checklist, right? Installation qualification, also known as IQ. So whenever you are installing a device in a new hospital, let's say syringe pump or patient monitor, what are the IQ checklists that you should be following? Troubleshooting case, fault, root cause and fix. Understand what are the common faults with respect to those equipments, what are the root cause that is causing those defects, and how to fix those defects that you are seeing. So these are the three things that you should have added in your resume, and that would help you to get shortlisted for FSC roles. QA or RA, if you want to get into quality assurance, regulatory affairs, then you need to do this. One page DHF versus DMR explainer with examples. You need to understand mini risk matrix, 5 hazards for a syringe pump, or any. So you basically take any critical care device and then you do mini risk matrix, like 5 hazards or 5 common risk matrix that like people should be aware of in specific regards to that equipment. The last one is change control, one page flow with roles and steps. Let's say if at all you want to control the flow and change the controls or the systems and things like that, you need to have a one page document which will help them or help the person to do that specific task. If you want to get into clinical applications and sales, you need to do this. Demo script for an ECG monitor. What is meant by demo script? Let's say if you want to sell an ECG monitor, or if you want to sell a syringe pump or any equipment that you want, you need to make sure that you are having a cold calling script, a cold emailing script, a cold messaging script, LinkedIn outreach template that you can follow. You need to have a training slide, leads of troubleshooting in 60 seconds. Let's say if you want to get into clinical applications, you basically work with a lot of hospitals, training institutes to help people educate on how to troubleshoot different devices. So the example I have taken here is leads of troubleshooting in 60 seconds for ECG monitor. 5 objection handlings, pricing, training time, service. So whenever you are selling a medical equipment, the main objection that you would be getting is in regards to pricing. What is the training time that that people need to spend to learn that specific device or equipment, and what are the service related issues that they can come across, and you need to handle these objections really well. So make a document which is focusing on, let's say, 5 or 6 objection handlings for each of the equipment. Add this on your resume and you may get a callback or shortlisting for the next job application that you're applying to. If you want to get into research and development, or if you want to get into any assistant role, then you need to do this. V&V checklist for one feature. Now let's say for research and development, the most important thing is validation and verification checklist for one feature. Let's say if you are researching on a new feature, you need to validate and verify the documents, and you can prepare a checklist for that. Simple bench test log with acceptance criteria, one page bug report, steps expected versus actual. So basically you can prepare a report which talks about what were the expected bugs that you predicted and what are the actual bugs that are coming across the research that you're doing. Now step 2, so that's step 1. I have broken it down as respect to what field you want to get into. Now once you decide which field you want to get into and you follow the things that I have told in step 1, you move to step 2 where you build a mini portfolio. So make 2 to 3 artifacts that prove competence. Now let's say if you are wanting to get into the technical side, you need to maybe have some projects, 2 to 3 projects. What I mean by artifacts is again projects that can show or showcase the person or the hiring manager that you have the competency, like you are competent enough to get shortlisted to the next round. Design for a 30-second scheme, clear headings and short bullets. So basically your resume that you are building or the project that you are building, it should have a 30-second scheme. If someone is looking at your resume or your project in 30 seconds, they should get a clear understanding about who you are, what you are good at, and you do that by adding clear headings to your resume and short bullets to your document that you're maybe preparing for your project. Post on Google Drive or Notion with clean file names. Everything that you're doing should be added on your resume, and the links can be provided to Google Drives or Notion with clear file names. Let's say if you are building a project on heartbeat sensor, make sure your resume has a link attached to Google Drive or Notion where they can understand what project you are doing with clear specific names and details. Now, few examples for artifact would be ECG monitor calibration SOP, student version. As a student, how do you think ECG monitor can be calibrated? Syringe pump risk minimatrix, ISO 14971 style. So you can take any equipment that you want and you can do a risk analysis and prepare a mini risk matrix that is sticking with respect to any of the ISO standards. IQ checklist for patient monitor, installation quick guide or installation. Uh, Q stands for qualification, installation qualification or installation quick checklist. IQ checklist basically for patient monitor. So take any device and help prepare a document which will help someone to know that how to install this document in their vicinity. Once you do that, feature your proof everywhere. Once you build a project, make sure you're adding it on your resume, you are adding it on your LinkedIn, you're adding it on the specific section called featured section on your LinkedIn. Screen share one artifact in interviews. You can share your screen during the interviews and show how you have prepared these documents and give a guided walk through the project that you have built, and keep files skimmable. Link back to the text. So basically what I mean is, if someone is opening the link, they should be able to come back and then follow through the resume or follow through the document or the drive that you have prepared. So make sure it's user friendly. Now, once you do that, let's come to step 3, which is targeted outreach. Now, for this, you need to build an Excel sheet with tracker. So build a list, 5 companies, 4 people each. So let's say you are taking Siemens, Medtronic, Johnson & Johnson, Baxter, and Genitri, 5 companies. Now, every company you need to reach out to 5 people on LinkedIn. Add their names on the Excel sheet below the company name, add their LinkedIn profile, and follow a cadence. Then you need to prioritize who you would connect to. Now, let's say if I have to connect to someone from Medtronic, whom shall I connect with? I cannot connect with any employee who is working there. Either I should be connecting with a service manager, hiring manager, clinical specialist, or a recruiter. So these are the people you should be connecting to if you're looking for a job. Once that is done, track status. So once you contact someone, so the first can be replied, send portfolio, next step. So I sent a connection request. As soon as they accept my request, I contact them by saying, hi, this is so and so. If they reply me, I will move it to replied, and then I will send my portfolio. Then I will change the status to send portfolio, and then I will make as per the reply I'm getting back, I would be focusing on updating it to the next steps. So this tracker will help you keep a progress of how many people you're reaching out to, how many prospects are replying back to you, and you will have an understanding of how you are progressing through your job hunt. Now, the next step is outreach. You need to follow a 3-message cadence which lasts for 10 to 12 days. It seems very tricky, but what we mean by that is, we will message someone 3 times. Now, let's say if someone is accepting my follow request, first message would be connect, 10 to 20, 80 to 120 characters, your lane plus artifact. So basically, it can be something like, hey, this is Thomas. I am a biomedical engineer specializing in clinical specialist role, specializing to get into clinical specialist roles. Here are few of the projects that I have made. Can you please go through the same? Send the first message. After 3 days, send second message. Share a 1-page SOP, what you have prepared, and ask for a feedback. And after 3 days, again you can keep a gap of 4 days or 3 days between each message that you're sending them. And the last message can be offer a 1-page portfolio, ask for a 30-second skim, ask for a feedback, and then ask them if they can refer you to that specific role in their organization. Now, when you apply, nudge the manager. That's one of the important points. Reference your artifact in a short note, attach link or 1-page proof, request for a feedback, and these are the columns that you need to track on the Excel sheet: company, role, name, action, date, status, and next steps. So if you are applying to, let's say, any of the roles in Medtronic, as soon as you apply, it's very important for you to connect and reply or message the hiring manager that, hey, this is my 1-page portfolio. I have applied for this role. This is the short project that helps me to be more competent enough for the specific role. And then you keep a tracker and make sure that if you're getting a response from the hiring manager, you are updating it the same on the tracker. Now, once you are getting shortlisted, interview preparation. Now, these are the 5 things that you should follow, and I'm also going to discuss a STAR method that I used to follow in most of my interviews. First is device you understand end to end. Always make sure you're talking about one equipment that you know completely. End to end, everything about that equipment, you know about it. How it is manufactured, what are the key circuits, how to calibrate it, what are the common problems, how to fix those problems, why those problems are caused, why the equipment is used, where the equipment is used, everything related to one medical equipment. Once you do that, you talk to them or talk in the interview about the specific device that you have mastered. And then you basically help them understand completely as to what all things you know about that equipment and why you think you are a good candidate to handle that specific equipment and things like that. Now, what is STAR method? Situation, task, action, result. Why this lane? Because you need to tie to the artifacts. As soon as you sit in an interview, in the whole interview, the focus that you should be having is to talk about the projects that you have built. So, as soon as you get a situation, you tell them about the project, you ask them for the feedbacks, you take required actions to drive through the conversation, and ultimately you bring the results that showcases that you are the right person the company should be hiring into that specific role. Okay. Now, what is the weekly learning loop? So this is going to be your loop for the next 30 days, which means 4 weeks. So every week, what you need to do is you need to learn, you need to build, you need to share. As soon as you're learning something new, you're building something new, you need to share it on your LinkedIn profile or personal DMs and ask for feedback for everything that you're doing. Turn questions into shots or carousels. So as soon as you have a question in mind, maybe you convert that question, answer it into a carousel and post it on LinkedIn, and iterate portfolio every week. The biggest problem that I see students making in the whole first to fourth year of college is that they never update their resume, and as soon as they start applying for jobs, they'll sit 1 2 hours and they'll update one proper resume, and they'll keep applying for next 1 or 2 years or next 6 or 7 months. It's very important for you to have a look at your resume every week. Small achievements that you make, update it on your resume on a weekly basis. So I keep iterating your portfolio every week. Now, here's the bonus. It's your turn now. Comment your role, which role you want to get into, and comment down your city, and I will reply with one suggestion to upgrade your portfolio. Subscribe to Biomed Bro for weekly medical technology or biomedical engineering job tactics and device explainers, and check the description for copyable template that you can use to start applying for jobs. And I have also added the Excel sheet that you can use to keep track of the opportunities you are reaching out to. Cool. Now, here's the bonus. If you have stick till here in the end of the video, we have an Instagram channel called Biomed Pro. I will be covering in one short 60-second reel 3 skills to get hired in MedTech role. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description. Go check that reel and let's connect there as well. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If yes, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel, sharing it with all the people you know who are looking for jobs, and let's learn and grow together. I'll see you next with something new. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Signing off. It's a Biomed Bro.